Any of them?
Sue Moroney.
Thank you, Mr Chair, and it's a pleasure to take a further a call on this particular Part 6 of the bill, because I do have 2 amendments in that part. But I invite that member who's just resumed his seat, if he really does have a concern about foetal alcohol syndrome, put his money where his mouth is and vote for my amendment to actually put notifications and compulsorily have those notifications and warning labels on alcohol products. Will he do that? Because that is putting your money where your mouth is. Not your money where your mouth is, Mr Chair, but Tim McIndoe's money where his mouth is. I put politics aside and I voted for his amendment to this same bill to increase the purchase age to 20. Will he vote for my 2 amendments that actually address the very issues he was crying crocodile tears about in that 5-minute contribution? Because that is where the rubber hits the road. How he votes on my amendments will actually show whether he is genuine about the issues that he spent 5 minutes talking about in this House. And I am tired, Mr Chair, of hearing members of the government go out in the public to try and sound like they are addressing this issue in the most comprehensive way. When they come to Parliament, they vote against very sensible and practical measures to actually fix the very issues that they claim they are concerned about. Well, this is their chance to do just that. Mr Chair, in my supplementary order paper number 114, I not only have proposed an amendment to require nutritional information to be on the labelling of alcohol products, but I also have proposed an amendment which would ensure that the health risks of drinking while pregnant are there on the label of the alcohol product. And if people and members of this Parliament, like Tim McIndoe, were genuine about their concerns, they would vote for that amendment, because that is one way we can attempt to address the issue. And in fact, the Fetal Alcohol Network New Zealand pointed this out in their submission to the Select Committee. They asked, as did a range of other submitters, for this very measure to be taken. What did they have to say to the Select Committee? Well, they said overall their concern was that the Alcohol Reform Bill is insufficiently robust and broad enough in its scope to reduce the significant harm that is concerning so many New Zealanders. And they wanted us, this Parliament, to work from the paramount principle of protecting children from alcohol-related harm, which begins at conception. And that, Mr Chair, is what my amendment would help to assist with. They wanted us to recognise that harm from drinking during pregnancy poses a significant preventable and long-term risk to public health. And we all know that of the misery that causes not only the individuals whom that affects, but also the rest of us collectively, because we all have to pay for those risks, those long-term risks to public health. Mr Chair, the Select Committee also heard that more than 35% of women drink alcohol during pregnancy, and that 10% are known to drink heavily during pregnancy. So we do have a problem that we must face up to. There is not one measure in this bill, as put forward by the government, that attempts to address that very serious and very important issue. Despite the crocodile tears and the speeches from Dr Paul Hutchinson and Tim McIndoe more recently about weeping and wailing about the issue of fetal alcohol syndrome, don't weep and wail about it in the debating chamber. Use your vote. Use the vote that you have. That is the obligation that members opposite, all of us, take up when we become one of those privileged 121 people who can vote on this issue. So if members opposite, and all around the House, truly are genuine about their concern about the risk to children, through no fault of their own, of fetal alcohol syndrome and the risks of drinking while pregnant, then they will vote in favour of supplementary order paper number 114. If they vote against it, then, Mr Chair, all they are doing is trying to sound brave, trying to sound concerned, when the very real decision that they make in this Parliament is just to look the other way while this issue continues to get worse?
Mr Chair.
I call Mike Sabin.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. Very pleased to take a call on this for